All right, you guys, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is going decent with this kind of weird situation. I'm going to talk about the current project just a little bit. You're doing a two-point perspective drawing of a famous building or structure using 2 vanishing points that go off into the distance. Here is an example of a building that I just got. You might see that we've got the building here. It's got this part that goes to a vanishing point, and this side of the building that goes to a vanishing point over here. And up here we have one and another part of the building that are vanishing to a vanishing point over here. You guys should know this from the tutorial and the formative that we've already done, the sketches and the YouTube video. If you don't know exactly how to do this still, I have my virtual help desk. Feel free to get into that and I can tell you more about that in detail. But I'm not going to go into the two-point perspective into too much detail right now because I have a whole video, YouTube video that's posted up there for you already. But yeah, yours should look like this. It should be done on a large white piece of paper that I gave you already. It should be used with just a pencil, so that means there won't be any color in it. I want you to think about things that make it look three-dimensional. You might notice that there's these windows that are indented slightly, these pillars here and here that show form and dimension, these pillars down here which show form and dimension. So I want you to keep those things in mind when you're doing yours. All of that little stuff makes a difference to make it look a little bit better and a little bit more real. Take your time. You can use a straight edge if you want to. The other thing I'd like you to do is, once you have your line done with the pencil, I want you to choose one of the sides of here's another example right here. One of the sides that's going to be a darker side and one that's going to be a lighter side. For example, you can see here, here, all of these sides are kind of having this, looks like this, the sun is just beating down on that, whereas these darker sides looks like they're in shadow. So I want you to pick a light source on one side and have that side of the building be lighter, and you can shade in the other side to make it look a little bit darker, like this example here. This example can also be found on you can also be found on Canvas. I put this example there as well. So you can see the shading a little bit better there. Things to keep in mind. Add little details to make it look kind of interesting. It can have, little trees, a little area of grass. It could have your parents' car. You could have whatever you want, just a small little detail to make it a little bit more interesting. These should be finished drawings. They're not just quick sketches. So all of the lines that are going to the vanishing points, all of those will be erased. So while you're doing it, I suggest that you draw very lightly. In the end, you want a nice kind of finished look like this. You can see it's shaded. It's got three-dimensionality. It's got these lines which go back into the vanishing point, but you erase this part of the line that you're not using, of course. So it should be a nice finished piece. If you were to put this on a wall, it should look like a nice finished piece for a building. It shouldn't look like just a really quick random sketch. I'm going to give you guys enough time to work on this so that it turns out really good. The due date is going to be not tomorrow Friday, but the Friday after. I believe that is April 1st. No, it's going to be April 1st, 3rd, April 3rd. So Friday, April 3rd is when this is going to be due. I'll give you a place to upload it like I always do on the Google form. You'll do your normal self-evaluation at the end. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. For some reason, if you're having a hard time finding a famous building that you like, if you go to Google and you type in two-point perspective drawing of a building and you hit the images for that, There's going to be a lot of different examples. It doesn't necessarily have to be famous monument or building. It could be just a really cool looking building that you find on Google Images. You're not tracing it, but you're looking at it as a reference. What I'm looking for, one, that you understand the idea of two-point perspective, of having a two-dimensional flat space and taking a pencil and drawing in the illusion of creating three-dimensional space. So I'm looking that you're doing that. I'm looking that you have good craftsmanship and nice lines. So again, draw lightly, and then it's easier to erase than it is to have to start over. So if you can draw really lightly, you can easily erase mistakes and things that you won't be using. I'm also looking for shading so that it looks three-dimensional on one side. So the whole overall thing looks three-dimensional. You'll have shading on one side where the sun is not hitting, and you'll have light on the other side where the sun is hitting. I'm looking for small details. I'm looking for attention to detail. Yeah, so I don't want it to be overall generally sloppy or just looks like unfinished. It should be a finished piece of artwork that's a pencil drawn of a structure or building, two-dimensional or two-point perspective to make it look three-dimensional. If for some reason what I'm saying doesn't really make sense or whatever, that's fine. Next Tuesday, I'm going to have another virtual help desk. You can click on the link that I sent you for the last virtual help desk, and then there's a sign up there on the same link. So go ahead and sign up for that, and I can help you out. It's no problem. You can always email me questions if you have any questions or whatever. I hope it makes it a little bit easier to understand. We've talked a lot about value already. Value is when you're taking the pencil and the whole value scale from very light to very dark and all of the grays in between, using that with pencil to create three-dimensionality. So keep that in mind as well. Any questions? Let me know. This is my first video like this, so I understand I'm kind of scatterbrained and it's all over, but I hope you understand it. If not, contact me. We'll work one-on-one. I'll get you through it. Good luck, and enjoy your weekend. Well, see you later.